Welcome back to Folktale Friday. This story is The North Wind. And this is actually a book that my dad had as a reader book way back when, but it's pretty good stories. I've read them a lot over the years. This one is The North Wind. One day the north wind was boasting to the sun. He huffed and he puffed and he roared in a gruff tone, "Watch me blow, I am much stronger than you." Gently the sun disagreed. "Even though you blow hard, you are not stronger than I am," he said. "Of course I am stronger than you," repeated the north wind, frowning fiercely. Just then the sun noticed a traveler in a scarlet cloak walking below them. Do you see that man below in the scarlet cloak?" he asked. "Yes, I see him," replied the north wind. "Are you strong enough to make that man take off his cloak?" asked the sun. Ho, that's easy," the gruff north wind boasted. "Watch me, you'll see whether or not I can do it." With a great huffing and puffing, the north wind blew down on the traveler. He almost succeeded in blowing off the cloak, but as the man felt the chilly wind sweep down, he wrapped his cloak about him. There he held it firmly with both hands. The north wind frowned and blew again. Time after time he went sweeping down and tried to blow the cloak off, but he did not succeed. The man only held his cloak more firmly and tucked it more snugly about him. "You have tried very hard," admitted the sun, "but in spite of all your blowing, the man did not unfasten his warm cloak." The north wind gazed at the traveler, who was hurrying along, tightly wrapped in his scarlet woolen cloak. "Oh," said the north wind in a boasting tone, "I have not finished with him yet. I will not fail to make him take off that cloak. You will see him unfasten it and toss it off before he goes much farther." Huff, puff, huff, puff, huff, puff. The harder the chilly north wind blew, the colder the traveler felt. The longer the wind blew, the more firmly he held the scarlet cloak. Finally, the north wind had to stop his boasting and admit that he had failed. He realized that it was impossible for him to make the man take off his cloak. "Now, I'll try," said the sun. "We'll see whether or not I can succeed where you have failed." Gently, the sun shone down on the earth. The heat made the man feel very warm. Immediately, he unfastened his woolen cloak and let it hang loosely from his shoulders. But he grew warmer as the sun's heat grew hotter. He had gone only a short distance when he stopped to take off his scarlet cloak. Tossing it over his arm, he walked on. "Now," the sun said to the north wind, "who is stronger, you or I?" And then, in spite of his boasting, the north wind had to admit that the sun had won. The gentle sun had succeeded, while the thundering north wind had failed. And as the moral of that story can be seen, the north wind was trying to, for lack of a better term, bulldoze his way and get his way, where the sun was more gentle, and the sun ended up being more successful. So, we can take that into our own everyday lives. Let's be a little bit more gentle and kinder instead of trying to force our way into stuff. Because then the person on the receiving end, like the man with the cloak, will be more likely to end up doing what you're wanting them to do instead of just giving up. So, that's all for this Folktale Friday. See you next time.